right, it is Friday. I feel like we can't say that enough. It is Friday, and that means lots of people will be heading to the movies this weekend. Good thing is we have Josh Bell here to give us a preview. What should we see? What should we skip this weekend?
Well, we were going to talk about Deepwater Horizon, which I think is the one to see this weekend. It's a pretty exciting true life drama about the 2010 oil rig disaster that spilled millions of gallons of oil into the ocean. And I think we heard a lot about the environmental impact of that story in the news at the time, and less about the personal impact, which is what this movie is really about, is about the workers on that rig, 11 of whom were killed in that explosion, and it really just focuses on the hours leading up to that and what happened afterwards. Stars Mark Wahlberg as one of the workers, Kurt Russell also, Gina Rodriguez, and it's a very human story. It's exciting at times, tragic at times, and I think it takes a little while to build up to it, to the moment when things actually go wrong. But I think the movie does a pretty good job of giving you a sense of what happened here and who these people are and really what the cost was that they paid.
I guess I never thought about it until you said something, but we never really talk about what happened outside of the environmental issue and then the lawsuits and everything that followed after.
Right, and this movie is really not focused on any of that. It's really focused on these everyday workers who were faced with this horrible tragedy and how they responded to it. And I think in that way it avoids having to make any larger political statements, and it's really just about what these people went through, which I think is pretty fascinating. So a little slow at first, but overall I think, especially if you're interested in this kind of story, it's worth checking out.
Okay, so not necessarily if you're into news, but maybe if you like a thriller, that will be a good one for
yeah,
you.
I mean, I think a thriller, maybe that sounds a little cheap. I mean, these were real people, and so it's a drama. It's an exciting drama, I would say. Yeah, worth seeing.
Okay, all right, and we have a new Tim Burton movie opening up.
Yes, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, kind of a mouthful of a title there, based on a young adult book series by Ransom Riggs, which is kind of a Harry Potter-esque series that's done pretty well with book audiences. This movie, I have not read the books, and I don't know how the book fans will react to it, but as a Tim Burton fan, and kind of apologist, even for some of his not as great movies, I'm pretty forgiving
haven't all
about.
Been great, right?
I thought this movie was awful.
Whoa.
Even some of Tim Burton's lesser films that are kind of just him doing a gloss on an existing franchise, you can always get the sense of his personality, his creativity. This movie feels completely anonymous. It feels like it was just put together by some studio marketing team that said, hey, we got to get another one of these franchises based on one of these book series. You got every cliched element, the teenager who discovers he's part of this secret magical world and learns about his powers, and then he falls in love, and they can't quite be together, and you've got the villain who wants to take over the world, but it's not exactly clear how or why he wants to do that. Even the special effects in this movie I thought were mediocre. So, I mean, as a Tim Burton fan, I was very disappointed in this movie. I'm not sure, again, how book fans will see it, but I think it's probably better to stick to the book on this.
Well, you know, book fans usually like purists. Like, I like the book better than the movie.
Right, and in that case, I don't know if those people will be satisfied. I think general movie fans also probably won't be satisfied, so I would say check out Deepwater Horizon instead.
All right, skip it. All right, thank you so much, Josh.
Thanks.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.